Hello, Zero ID community. Today I had the worst fucking experience of somebody, fucking, so it was a 1v1 about 25 minutes in. It was very clear that I was going to win. And what occurred was, my mom needed my help with something, and I said, yo, any chance you could resign soon because my mom needs help with something. And this motherfucker says, you have to kill all of me. And I was like, okay, man, you're being an asshole, but I will oblige you. So I fucking ended up having to chase it. He deliberately scattered 5 units all around different areas of the map. He hid them in a ship. Some of them in a ship, in the middle of the fucking water. It was that Corinthian Isthmus map. And yeah, so there's 2 fucking bodies of water. I had to build 2 fucking docks. When I was about to kill his last ship, my mom got mad at me because anyway, long story short, he fucking exited the game. It was a rated game, and he exited right before I was about to finish him off. So I had to submit it on Wildfire or whatever because I almost never play rated games. But I was like, fuck it, I'll play one today. Lost one because I was... anyway, lost one. Then this was my second rated game. And yeah, he exits, so I had to submit it on Wildfire. But the good thing that came out of it was somebody had I realized that it could be a potential good source for replays, checking the Wildfire game forums, because everybody submits their the replays of games that they got shafted on. And generally speaking, I would assume that those games, since they're usually against annoying noobs who fucking, quit the game or whatever without resigning. But this one person was like, yeah, the game was really interesting. And that person was RangerK, and they played this game against AlaricPularic, who apparently was about to lose, and he did the same thing that happened to me today. But he specifically said that it was a really interesting game. So yeah, I downloaded the replay, and RangerK, if you're out there, I hope you end up seeing this. AlaricPularic, if you're out there, don't be a dick. It's rude. But yeah, so we have AlaricPularic in the east, not playing as the Romans, but I think these are not the Macedonians, Athenians, right? Oh, it is the Macedonians. And then in the west, we have the Ptolemies being played by RangerK. So berry upgrades. Berry upgrade for RangerK, not for this guy. We have 3 cav for RangerK. They are currently going in different directions, exploring the map. We have a second storehouse being laid down over here for some reason. I feel like I don't really see the point of this second storehouse. I feel like there's plenty of space around this first one that, they wouldn't need to build another one. But we have their first barracks going up. This barracks of Alaric's has already been up for a while. RangerK is housed right now. He has 3 space, but he's trying to build more than that, I think. And he's waiting for this house to go up for that to happen. AlaricPularic is very slightly ahead of him in terms of population, but not by very much. And AlaricPularic is still finishing his berries, whereas RangerK has long since finished his. It goes to show how useful the berry upgrade is, because RangerK has been done with his berries for a while now. I always try to make it so that this farming upgrade, Iron Plow, is already researched before my first farms are finished. But AlaricPularic has decided against that. I think it's because he apparently, oh yeah, he doesn't have enough wood. whereas Ranger K just finished getting his first farming upgrade and he has 4 farms up, which is really good. They're both doing a really good job of keeping their resources balanced. Ranger K is getting a slight surplus of wood, surplus. I tend to try to get a little bit of a surplus of wood in towards the beginning of phase 1 because as soon as you hit phase 2, it's really important to build your market and your blacksmith, or I'm sorry, your market and your forge as soon as possible in phase 2. So I do tend to get this little bit of surplus of food, of wood during phase 1. Ranger K has a lot of people on wood. He's definitely taking advantage of the Ptolemy's cheap houses, although he's not, you know, he doesn't have a exponentially huge population cap as compared to his total population, at which he is pulling ahead of AlaricPularic a little bit. He's still finishing up with these trees around the Civic Center. Always really important to clear out these trees in order to make space for all of the farms you're going to need later in the game, so that you don't need to search for open space and, you know, spend the extra wood that it takes to build these guys, the farmsteads. But yeah, really pretty layout so far for Ranger K's base. I really love this ring of houses that he has built. How much do houses actually cost for the Ptolemies? They're cheaper. They cost 75 wood as opposed to 100. It's crazy. In Alpha 23, Ptolemy's got free houses, storehouses, and farmsteads. Like, so ridiculously OP that, like, then in Alpha 24 and Alpha 25, what do you call it? The Iberians became the most OP civ because of the fire cav. The fire cav have been nerfed as of Alpha 26. I think they're still really strong because I got my ass fucking murked by a bunch of fire cav a couple weeks ago during a game I was playing. But I don't know. Tell me in the comments, do y'all think that the Iberians are still the strongest civ in the game? I know Ptolemies are definitely still a contender, despite having houses that cost 75 wood, which is crazy because it's... How much do houses normally cost? 150. Okay, so that's half, so that's still pretty good. Ranger K has reached the town phase, and he is also 10 pop ahead of AlaricPularic, who is housed at the moment. Not anymore, but every minute, every little second counts. 40 women on 8 farms. No farming upgrade at all yet, which is crazy because this is already 9 minutes into the game. Also, still on phase 1, 9 minutes into the game. So I don't, it's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. He keeps getting housed. It seems like his rating might be like a little bit inflated because everything I've seen, Ranger K has been playing much better than him. Does he have the wood cutting upgrade? He doesn't have any upgrades yet. Very interesting. He has 2 barracks, building 1 skirmisher at a time out of each on auto queue. Shout out to him for doing 1 at a time, because I do that too a lot, and a lot of the time it's so that I can save those extra resources for my upgrades. But interestingly, he does not have any upgrades, which is fucking wild, honestly. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, he prefers to invest those extra resources that would be used for the upgrades in just building extra units. But yeah, the upgrades really, you know, it's worth the price, in other words. Alaric has caught up to Ranger K. He's only 2 pop behind now, and he's housed himself again. He had to pull a bunch of women off of the farms to build a house. We have another storehouse going up. We have the phase 2 wood upgrade, but none of the the mining upgrades. We have a market and we have 2 forges in the back by the market. Very good placement. These buildings have really, I mean, these are really good for expanding your territory, but other than that, they don't have any like military function. So it's good putting them as far back as he's putting them to keep them out of the line of fire. The market in particular is so vital. Like losing it could spell that, like having one or not having one, like for instance, if you lose your civic center, really could make or break your game. Crazy thing, RangerK is now in phase 3. He really like, he rushed to phase 3 for sure, but it's not like he's really hugely paying for it in terms of his population. He's only 8 behind. He interestingly still hasn't gotten any of the mining upgrades. I noticed that almost like so many players I see don't prioritize mineral resources, particularly metal. I kind of like have to prioritize it more because I train a lot of mercenaries in the mid game. Interesting library that allows you to get upgrades faster, so he's probably going to, yeah, he's just now starting to get his military upgrades, and he's going to have a much faster time of doing so, minus 15% cost and research time. Interestingly though, he, one of these forges is going to complete waste. When he first researched the first ranged attack upgrade, he did not have the resources to get another one, but now he's putting them both to use, so that's good. He's finishing up with this wood line, and he's moved some of his units onto this one. And he's now working with 3 barracks, training 4 at a time, and he's getting conscription, which allows you, I really wish this did a little bit more, like 15%. 10% just feels so like minor, you know? And, you know, for 500, well, I mean, 500 food, honestly, is a really good price, especially in the late game when, like, generally speaking, like, you tend to build up somewhat of a surplus of food if there's not, like, fighting going on. So, you know, it's not a huge trade-off, but 10% really isn't, it's almost not noticeable. Although, you know, it's the little differences that really can swing a battle one way or the other. Alaric has finally made it up to phase 2. He's utilizing this metal mine over here. He has all of his soldiers on a single wood line, which I think is pretty much the best, other than in the very late game where you can have... you know, when you're sending the majority of them to go into a battle, sometimes you want to have like 20 separate from the rest. Like, sometimes between skirmishes, you'll have like a huge group of soldiers that kind of runs back away from the front line and starts getting wood. And then you could also have a group of like 20 hanging back really far away from the front line. What do you call it, just permanently gathering wood so that, you know, while everyone else is committed to battle, those 20 or so are, you know, consistently gathering wood for you to reinforce. So he's finally gone for the eco upgrades. He has all of the phase 1 eco upgrades. He's getting the phase 2 farming upgrade. Yeah, he did get the I feel like AlaricPularic is definitely prioritizing mineral resources in a way that RangerK is not. He does have these 7 pikemen on metal over here, but other than that, it's just the metal mine by his base. And like I said, he doesn't have... Okay, so he did finally get the phase 1 mineral resource upgrades, and he's decided to expand and build his military colony right by this metal mine, so undoubtedly he's going to be extracting metal from there. Interesting, he decided to build an outpost here in the middle of the map to probably, and one up here, to see if, I guess, just have greater knowledge of what's going on. I rarely take advantage of outposts, although I was building a bunch of them earlier when I was chasing down that fucking asshole who decided to prolong the game. The game literally went on for over an hour. Over an hour when I had asked him to resign because it was already obvious that he was going to lose at around the 30-minute mark. Unbelievable. Like, honestly, like, I think, like, people who do that should not just get their rating docked. They should get, like, temporarily banned, you know? Because it's just so not cool. The fact that I told him I needed to help my mom with something and he still did that just, like, makes it so much worse, you know? People just are sore losers, I guess. Okay, so we have an Arsenal from AlaricPularic who has fallen severely behind in terms of population. He's about 40 behind now at this point. Let's check out the military upgrades. He's also behind in terms of military upgrades, in terms of eco upgrades. He's pretty much behind in terms of everything, which is surprising because his rating is so high. I wouldn't be surprised if RangerK's rating has gone up by now. I mean, it definitely went up after this match, so. Alright, 2 arsenals. Did I see another arsenal, or was that... Okay, that was AlaricPularic. So AlaricPularic built his arsenal, like, very far from the front line. But he's using it to recruit catapults, which is interesting. I think maybe they can move a little bit faster than, say, rams, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I guess these 2 arsenals are about equally far from the front line. No, Rangers is a little bit closer. But, I mean, if I were him, I would, you know, be using this military colony as a, you know, I would have all of my woodcutters, like, right here on this wood line. Because if this military colony gets attacked by, like, a large force, he's fucking screwed, you know? He could very well get it taken from him. Alright, catapults are on the move. He's got 4 of them with a hero. Demetrius won the Besieger. What is Demetrius's deal? Siege engines plus 1 crush, hack, and pierce resistance, plus 20% damage, plus 10% range, plus 10 ranged attack range, plus 10 vision range. Wow, so it turns all your siege engines into fucking OP machines of death. That's fucking wild. Okay, we have a fortress being built. Again, I see, like, see all of these barracks were built up here, whereas this military colony is here. These barracks really should have kind of formed a chain between his main base. I was talking about this in an earlier video. Should have formed a chain between his main base and this military colony, so that if he were to lose this military colony, he wouldn't, well, either way, he wouldn't lose loyalty on anything else because he doesn't have anything else built around the military colony. But, yeah. For instance, if he gets attacked here and his fortress was built around here and, you know, say he was getting attacked with 60 and he only had 40 people, he could garrison 20 and 20 and really form a good turtling type resistance. Okay, good. Now he's doing what I was saying. He's building barracks kind of between his main base and the military colony. So yeah, his army is, like, a little bit scattered out in terms of wood cutting. There's not really a point to it as far as I really can think of, you know? Like, he could do just as well having them all gathered on one wood line, so if, you know, if they were to get attacked, they're getting attacked all as one big group. rather than, you know, a smaller group getting attacked by all of Alaric's troops gathered together and getting wiped out, even though Ranger's way ahead in terms of population. Military upgrades. Okay, AlaricPularic seems to have closed the gap a lot, especially because he has Will to Fight, which upgrades everything. So technically it's about even. If anything, AlaricPularic's upgrades are a little bit better now. If I was Ranger, I would attack soon while he still has the lead, although he doesn't know at the time that he's 37 pop ahead of Alaric. All right, and he is attacking, so that's good. He's got a lot of pikemen. I see 111 pikemen, 33 slingers. I would completely reverse that, because all the pikemen do is really absorb damage. The slingers more do damage. So, you know, and the pikemen can absorb so much damage that you need a smaller amount of them. Like, that many pikemen is really good if Alaric were, you know, working with Cav primarily. Then those pikemen would be, like, completely unstoppable almost. This is really interesting. So we have these guys attacking over there and these guys attacking over here. So this military colony is going down. Alaric is going to possess that. Almost definitely. I mean, maybe not. It's fully garrisoned, so we don't know that for sure. All right. Okay, yeah, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it for sure. And in the meanwhile, Ranger is attacking over here. Okay. He sunk it. AlaricPularic is getting way more kills. He killed all of these units, or he's about to have killed all these units. RangerK is about to probably take control of the Civic Center, although he did not bring any siege with him, interestingly, because he did have those arsenals. So I don't understand why he didn't make use of them, but now the catapults are going for the barracks, and interestingly, these guys are just kind of chilling. I don't know, does he realize that he's being attacked at his home base? He must, because he put the women in the Civic Center, although a lot of them got killed. The kill-death ratio has evened out a little bit. He's just trying to damage the... See, if this were reversed and he had like a shit ton of slingers and just a few... Like 100 slingers could take this Civic Center out in like 10 seconds or less. Slingers are really good at taking down buildings, actually. But he's got a large enough group that... But those 28 slingers are probably doing about half the damage, despite the fact that there's 28 of them and 110 pikemen. He could probably capture this now. Yup, he's doing it. It's interesting that Alaric just stopped for such a large amount of time over in this area. He should have kept pushing or, you know, went back. Very interesting. Very interesting. So he decided to split his forces up. He sent all of the fast-moving skirmishers. This was very smart of him. He sent all of the fast-moving skirmishers back to fight off this attack. And these skirmishers are capable of really messing up these pikemen, because they can run away, attack, run away, attack, you know? And that's why I said it's really important to, what do you call it? Have more ranged units than meat shield units. But he is not doing that. He's not running away and attacking. He's just letting them stand there while they get massacred by these pikemen. So that was a missed opportunity for sure. And Alaric still possesses this castle, but his Civ Center has been taken. and now RangerK's Civ Center has been destroyed. Alaric did not leave a huge amount of units at RangerK's base, but they are enough because a lot of them are these Thracian Black Cloak long swordsmen who are champions who are extremely powerful, and even though for a minute they were slightly outnumbered, they were able to take down all those units, and there's no way for him to rebuild his CC because these catapults are just too strong. However, he is going to try to take the catapults out with these pikemen, or not. Maybe he's just going to try to take a single farmstead back. I think he's not actually operating them. So RangerK is definitely coming out on top of all of this. Despite the fact that he had his CC destroyed, he still has a huge number of units. They are low on health, but they have about 2/3 of their health. And for some reason, he's bringing the women back to his Civ Center, even though his Civ Center was... Or, I'm sorry, no, he was bringing the women towards AlaricPularic's original Civ Center, which is now his. So Alaric has decided to build a fortress here, which I'm not entirely sure how he built it because it's not his territory. Alright, RangerK is meeting AlaricPularic's catapults here and massacring them. I think we're going to see a resignation. Oh, no, we're not. I forgot. We're not going to see a resignation in this game. But it's pretty obvious that RangerK pulled out in the lead. Yeah, these what do you call it? Foot companions. Oh no, they're not the are they champions? No, they're just the regular pikemen. It's... Oh, interesting. Crossbowmen. So he lost all of his champions, I think. Other than, I think these crossbowmen might be... Yeah, they're champions. But they're about to get put down, and at that point... Yeah, let's speed it up a little bit. Yeah, Alaric pretty much has nowhere to build. He would need to build a new civic center at this point. I think he technically does have the resources to do so, but yeah, he could, but he's not trying. Even if he did, he only has 16 units left, so there's really not much that can be done. Yeah, I don't know why such a high-rated player would pull the kind of petty move of letting it ride out for this long of an amount of time, and especially just you know, quitting without resigning. It's really not cool, especially because this would be such a huge rating bump for... I mean, it sucks for Alaric. Like, genuinely, his rating would have gone down, or probably if, you know, if things got sorted out by the mods, his rating probably did go down quite a lot, but like, you just got to deal with that, man. You can't be a sore loser. He did rebuild a civic center. He's trying to rebuild, but yeah, there's not really... He doesn't have a chance at this point. RangerK's got too much population, you know, too many resources. But he's really trying. Like, it's not fun for anyone when it gets to this point, you know? Yeah, I can imagine RangerK's frustration at this point. trying to take these couple of barracks back, having to send rams in to deal with an opponent who's down to 30 population, you know? Down to 5. I think they're all... There's one woman over here. So annoying. So annoying. This is giving me fucking PTSD flashbacks to earlier. One woman. That's crazy. And he's gonna make him scour the whole goddamn map. Oh, they walked right past her. Oh no, he walked right past her. Oh no! She's only on like 2 health. Jesus Christ, he walked right past her and didn't notice. Look what he's having to do. That's crazy. Oh my god, that's so funny. He did lose. So maybe he... That's so weird. That makes me wonder why Alaric... That makes me wonder why Ranger submitted the game. Maybe he thought that it was a rated game and it wasn't. Maybe he thought that Alaric did, like he refused to resign, which is a really petty move, but he did lose. He lost all his units, so the game would have registered that as a dub for RangerK. So yeah, it's interesting that he ended up submitting it. But yeah, it was an interesting game to watch for sure. It was kind of neat how they both ended up taking out the other player's civic center. But yeah, thank you guys so much.